The Zellery Empire was very old. It ruled over hundreds of star systems and many alien races. Its people believed in power, order, and control. But there was one thing the Empire could never control: the Dream Demon. For over 400 years, strange dreams had appeared across the Empire. In these dreams, a strange being showed up, always different in shape, but with one thing the same: a human-like face. The dreams caused fear, confusion, and sometimes rebellion. Whole planets fell into chaos after seeing the Dream Demon. The Empire blamed the dreams for many problems. They said the demon was a dangerous force, an enemy of order. The Empress passed a secret law: anyone who saw the Dream Demon had to report it. The Empire even created a special team of warriors to hunt it. They searched minds, dreams, and history. The best hunter among them was Valerie Threx. Valerie was not like others. She had no family. She was raised in a military chamber from birth, learned to fight, to fly, and to track. But more than that, she was trained to move through dreams using a powerful machine called the Mindwell. The Mindwell let her step into dreams across space. She could see memories, emotions, and even faces of people she had never met. One day, the Empress herself called Valerie to the capital. "You are my strongest weapon," the Empress said. Her voice was cold and calm. "You will find the Dream Demon, and this time you will end it. I will do what must be done." The Empress gave her special access to forbidden files, ancient records, lost data, and even secret stories passed down by old leaders. Valerie spent weeks reading them, searching for patterns. Many of the old reports were strange. In some, the Dream Demon helped people. In others, it stopped wars. But the official records called it dangerous. Always. Valerie began scanning the current dream signals in the Mindwell. There were thousands, millions even. But she looked only for dreams, marked by fear and mystery. Then one dream caught her attention. It came from a mining colony on the edge of the Empire. A worker had reported a nightmare where he saw a face clear, calm, and human. The man said the face smiled at him, then showed him his dead daughter, alive and happy. He woke up crying. Vela entered the dream through the mind well. It was soft and warm. Light floated in the air. Then the face appeared. A man. He had short black hair, kind eyes, and a peaceful expression. He said nothing. He just looked at Valerie and smiled. Something strange happened. Valerie felt calm, not afraid. Then the scan began. The Mindwell automatically searched for real-world matches to the dream face. Match found: Earth. D. 243 AJ name. Jordan Hale's species. Human age. 34 Earth years. Location. Earth, Sector Nin. Velar blinked. "A human?" she whispered. The Dream Demon had a name? The next day, Valerie began preparations. Earth was not part of the Empire, but it had a peace agreement. That meant she could visit if she used the right cover. She chose a diplomatic mission. The Empire often sent peaceful visitors to Earth for research and study. Valerie dressed in simple robes, hid her weapons, and entered a transport ship. Her face was calm, but her mind raced. How could a normal human be the cause of 400 years of fear? Did this man know what he was doing? Ship landed on Earth after 4 days. Valerie stepped out into the sunlight of a quiet city. She had never been to Earth before. It felt simple, peaceful. There were no armed guards in the streets. Children played. People smiled. Valerie accessed her wrist datapad. It showed Jordan Hale's location. He lived in a small house near a school. She waited nearby for hours. Watching him from a distance, Jordan Hale didn't seem dangerous. He walked to the school, helped children with books, and spoke kindly. He was a teacher, not a monster. But then came the real surprise. Valerie walked near the school gate to get a closer look.
Ow.
Jordan turned, noticed her, and smiled. "I know you," he said calmly. Valerie stopped. Her heart skipped a beat. "What did you say?" she asked. Jordan tilted his head. "I've seen you before. In my dreams." Valerie froze. No one was supposed to remember dreamwalkers, not unless he had powers of his own. Jordan looked at her more closely. You were crying beside a silver tree, he said. Hey. A fire was falling from the sky. That was a secret memory. Valari had never told anyone about it, not even the Empress. Who was this man? Valari stared into his eyes. For the first time in her life, she wasn't sure if the Empire had told her the truth. Valar Threx sat in a quiet room in Earth's diplomatic center. The walls were white, the lights soft, and the chairs made of smooth wood. It was peaceful here too, peaceful for someone trained in war and silence. Her mind was not at rest. Jordan. Hale, the human schoolteacher, had recognized her from a dream. That was not possible. Normal people did not remember dreamwalkers, not even the strongest minds. And yet Jordan did. He had seen her memories. Real ones, painful ones. Ow! That silver tree, the fire, her tears, it was a moment she had hidden deep. Inside her mind, even the Mindwell couldn't show it unless she allowed it. But Jordan had seen it on his own. Valari didn't understand how, but she knew one thing now. This man was not normal. She opened her wrist device and scanned Earth's dream network again. Earth didn't allow full access. She had permission to look at light signals, just enough to see patterns. In the last 30 days, there were 128 dreams recorded by humans that included Jordan Hale's face. Some dreams showed him walking in strange places. Others had him smiling at lost people. One dream showed him stopping a great storm by raising his hand. People felt safe with him, happy, even healed. Valara's training told her one thing. This man matched all signs of the so-called dream demon. But why did he help people? Why did he never harm anyone? Why did the Empire say he was dangerous? The next day, Valari returned to the school. She stood by a small tree, watching as Jordan helped students carry books. He looked normal. His laugh was light, his steps were slow. But now Valari knew he was hiding something. When the students left, Jordan walked toward her. I was hoping you'd come back, he said with a calm voice. Valari studied him. You spoke to me in a dream. That is not possible. Jordan nodded. I know it's strange. I've always seen dreams, ... different. Sometimes I visit people, sometimes they visit me. Valari said. That was private. I didn't try to go there, Jordan replied gently. It came to me like a story, a sad one. I just watched. Valari looked into his eyes. Do you know who you are? I'm a teacher, he said. I help kids learn math and history. She shook her head. That's not all. Your face appeared in Empire dreams for 400 years. Before you were even born, Jordan was silent. Then he whispered, I've heard that before. Valari's heart beat faster. What do you mean? When I was a child, Jordan said, I used to have dreams of stars, alien cities, war, and fire. I thought I was imagining. But when I grew older, the dreams became stronger. I saw people I never met. I saw you many times. Me. Jordan nodded. Always sad, always alone. Valari looked away. She had trained for war her whole life. She had no friends, no family. No one had ever described her that way before. It made her feel seen. Why do you enter dreams? She asked. I don't know how it started, Jordan said. It just happens. When someone is lost or afraid, I appear. I talk. I help if I can. Then I vanish. Do you control minds? Valari asked. No, he said quickly. I never control. I only show things, memories, hopes, love. Valari crossed her arms. The Empire says you are dangerous. Jordan gave a sad smile. Maybe the Empire's afraid of dreams it can't control. That night, Valari sat in her room, thinking. Everything Jordan said made sense. But she had been trained to follow orders, not emotions. The Empress had given her one task: find the dream demon and remove the threat. But what if the real threat was the lie? She searched deeper into dream archives. She found one file that had been marked as corrupted. She fixed the data and played. The recording, it showed a dream from a colony that no longer existed. A young Zelari boy cried in the dream. His family had died. He was ready to give up. Then Jordan's face appeared, showed the boy a future where he was strong, happy, and leading others. That boy later became a rebel leader. The Empire erased the colony. The dream didn't start a war. It gave the boy hope. Valari realized something big. The dream demon never caused destruction. He gave people a reason to fight back against control. She met Jordan one more time. The next morning, "I need to know the truth," she said. "I want to enter a dream with you. Together." Jordan nodded. "You'll see what I see. We must use the mind well," Valari said. "It's risky. If they find out, they'll arrest us both," Jordan finished. "Or worse." She looked at him. "Will you come with me?" "Yes," he said. "I trust you." Lottie took a deep breath. For the first time in her life, she was going against orders. But in her heart, she felt something new. It was the right thing to do. Valera Threx and Jordan Hale entered the secret room inside Earth's peace station. This was not a public place. It was hidden under a library, known only to a few officers and diplomats. The Empire called it a study center, but Valari knew its real name, the Mindwell Core. It was quiet here, cold, silent, no guards, no questions. Valari placed her palm on a silver pad. The door slid open. Inside, a small round room held 2 dream chairs and a smooth white wall with symbols that moved like water. "This is it," Valari said. "Once we go in, we'll be linked." Jordan looked calm. "I'm ready." Valari sat down in one chair. Jordan sat in the other. She pressed a small button on the armrest. Soft blue lights moved across the wall. A quiet hum filled the air. Their minds began to connect. Suddenly they were no longer in the room. They stood in a large field of white grass. The sky above was golden. In front of them stood a small child crying under a tree. Valari stepped forward. "This is ... a memory." Jordan nodded. His name was Kala. He was alone after his village was attacked. Valari remembered this event. It was in the Empire's records. Akkad, the report said the child went mad and started a fire. Hundreds died. But here in the dream, she saw something different. Jordan knelt beside the child. He smiled and spoke gently. "You are not alone. You will grow strong." He showed the child images his future life. Leading, healing, building homes. The boy smiled. The tree turned gold. Valara whispered. The Empire lied. The dream changed. Now they stood on a metal ship. Alarms were ringing. Soldiers ran down dark halls. In a room full of sleeping pods, a woman screamed for help. Jordan appeared beside her. He held her hand. "It's not your fault," he said. Showed her a memory of her child's laughter. The lights turned calm. Valari knew this story too. The Empire said the dream demon had attacked the ship, caused the mother to destroy it. But the truth was here. He helped her heal, one by one. Dream after dream, Valari watched Jordan appear in the darkest place, bringing peace, not chaos. She had no words. Finally, the dream shifted again. They stood in front of the Empress's private chamber. Valari had never seen it in a dream before. But somehow, Jordan led her there. Inside the Empress was young, barely 20. She stood before a council of older leaders. One of them showed her a vision of Jordan's face. "He is dangerous," the man said. "He brings thoughts we cannot control. He heals," the young Empress said. "That is the problem," the elder replied. "He heals the ones we break. If they heal, they resist us." The young Empress turned cold. "Then we erase him. From memory? From dreams? From truth?" Valari felt her knees weaken. She stepped back. "They knew," she said. "They knew he wasn't evil." Jordan nodded. They feared hope more than pain. Valari stared at the Empress's face in the dream. She ordered the lies. "Yes," Jordan said, "and made me the enemy of history." They woke up slowly. The dream lights faded. The room returned to silence. Verlar sat quietly, her hands shaking. "I was told to destroy you," she said. "I believed it for years." Jordan looked at her gently. "I don't blame you. You believed what you were taught." She looked at him. "I need time." Jordan nodded. I understand. She stood up. Her voice became firm again. We cannot stay here. If the Empire finds out I brought you into the mind well, they'll arrest us, Jordan finished. Valari opened her datapad. A message blinked on the screen. Warning, Mindwell breach detected. She cursed under her breath. They know. Jordan stood. What do we do? Valari's eyes narrowed. They run. They left the Mindwell core through a hidden tunnel. Outside, a black Empire ship flew over the city. Valari pulled her hood low. They've already sent hunters. Jordan kept close.
Where will we go?
There's one place left, Valari. Said a dead colony? The Empire wiped it out years ago. But I think survivors may still live there. People who remember the dreams. Jordan said nothing, but his face looked sure. The next morning, they boarded a cargo freighter under false names. Valari flew the ship herself, using old codes from her warrior days. They passed through to jump gates and flew into empty space. After many hours, a broken planet appeared ahead. It was gray and full of dust. No lights, no signals. Is this the place? Jordan asked. Flurno. This is Rental. The Empire said it was lost in a war. They landed near a cracked mountain as they walked through the ruins. A soft sound echoed from behind a rock. Children, laughing. Valari stepped forward. A group of people appeared dirty, thin, but alive. One old man stepped forward and looked at Jordan. His eyes went wide. It's you, he said. You came back. Jordan nodded. I always return where I'm needed. The people gathered around. Some cried. Others smiled. Valari watched quietly. These people had no power, no weapons, no hope until now. Jordan touched the old man's hand. You still dream? Jordan asked. Every night, the man said. You give us strength. Valari turned away for a moment, hiding her face. Her heart felt heavy and full. Everything she had believed was broken, but in its place, something new was growing. Truth. The stars above Rintel were silent. The ruins below told no lies. Valerithrex sat beside a broken wall, watching Jordan Hale speak to the survivors. There were more than she expected: children, elders, tired workers. These were people the Empire said no longer existed. People it had erased from history, and yet they lived. They had hidden in the dust, away from the Empire's eye. They called themselves the Remembered. Every one of them knew Jordan, not from news, not from records, but from dreams. They told Valari how Jordan appeared in their sleep. Sometimes he warned them, sometimes he comforted them. He never asked for anything. He just helped. Valari listened in silence. Her training told her not to believe, but her heart, her newly awoken heart, was already changing. That night, she sat by the fire with Jordan. The Mindwell was supposed to give the Empire truth, she said. Jordan poked gently at the fire. Instead, they used it to control truth. Valari looked at the sky. I thought I was serving justice. I was just keeping power alive. Jordan's voice was soft. You believed in something. It's not wrong. But now you see more. Valari turned to him. I want to show the Empire what I saw in the Mindwell. I want others to know the truth. Jordan nodded. We'll need proof. Real proof. Valari looked thoughtful. We recorded our Mindwell session, but the Empire will call it fake. We need more. Jordan said nothing for a while. Then he looked at her and said, we need to go deeper. Deeper, she asked. He nodded. There's a place inside the Mindwell that only dreamwalkers can reach. It's not a memory, not a thought. It's a connection between souls. Valari narrowed her eyes. Does it have a name? Jordan nodded again. It's called the Heartwave. The next morning, Valari and Jordan used a hidden transmitter to send a false signal. It showed their location far away in a pirate zone. Empire would chase shadows for a while. They left, Rintal in silence, and flew to a deep space station known only to former Dream Tech researchers. It was dead known. One used it after the Empire locked down. Dreamstudies.VLAR. I guided the ship with careful hands. I trained here once, she said, before the Empress closed the Dream Science program. They entered the station through a manual hatch. Dust floated in the air. Lights flickered. But the Mindwell core still worked. They cleaned the chairs and reconnected the core using old wires. It was not perfect, but it would hold for one session. Valari checked the data systems. If we reach the heart wave, she said, can we record it? Jordan answered, not with machines, but if we bring someone else into it, someone who once saw the dream demon, their memory will be proof. Valari nodded. She activated the memory scan. I'm bringing in a child from Rintal, she said. His dreams are strong. A few hours later, the child arrived with a guardian. His name was Toma, a small boy with bright yellow eyes. He had seen Jordan in his sleep since age 3. Toma smiled at Jordan. Will you show me the stars again? Jordan knelt. Yes, but this time you'll show us something too. Placed Toma in a dream chair next to Jordan. Valari took her own seat. The Mindwell core glowed softly. Are you ready? Valari asked. Jordan and Toma both nodded. She pressed the start button. The dream began slowly. Valari opened her eyes to find herself standing on a bridge of light. Below her were stars. Above her were more stars, but they moved like waves in the sky. She turned. Jordan and Toma stood nearby. Toma looked amazed. It's so big. Jordan took Valari's hand. We're not in memories anymore, he said. This is the heart wave. Valari felt it. She heard whispers not in her ears, but in her mind, stories, songs, prayers, dreams. From every part of the galaxy, she could feel the hopes of a dying soldier, the last breath of a mother saving her child, a lonely mechanic humming in a forgotten spaceport. So many dreams, so many souls. All connected then. A face appeared from the light. Valari gasped. It was her mother. She had died long ago. Her mother spoke gently. You were never wrong, Valari. You just didn't have the full picture. Tears filled Valari's eyes. Why didn't I see this before? Jordan answered. Because truth lives in the heart, not in orders. Toma floated gently into the air. Light surrounded him. He was watching something only he could see. I see them all, Toma whispered. People who dreamed of you. People who were saved. Jordan nodded. He is remembering everything now. When he wakes, he'll carry proof the Empire can't erase. Valari turned toward Jordan. Then we must get him out alive. Suddenly, the light trembled. A sharp alarm echoed in the distance. Valari's eyes snapped open. The dream ended. She sat up, breathing hard. Red lights flashed across the station. Empire breach detected, the computer said. Valari stood quickly. They found us. Jordan lifted Toma from the chair. The child was still smiling, his mind full of new visions. Valari downloaded the dream signal. It was not full, but enough to show a memory trace from the heart wave. We have what we need, she said. But outside, dark ships were landing. Empire troops had arrived. Jordan looked at her. We run again? Valari checked her weapon and smiled. No, this time, we fight back. The sounds of the Empire's ships landing echoed through the abandoned space station. The red lights flashed and alarms screamed, but Velarithrax's mind was clear. She looked at Jordan, Hale, and Toma, who still floated in the air, the child's eyes wide with the wonder of what he had just witnessed. The heart wave, the connection between all dreams, still buzzed inside Valari's mind. The truth was there, was undeniable. But now, the Empire was here. The Empire that had hunted the Dream Demon for centuries. The Empire that had erased the truth. Valari felt her pulse quicken. It wasn't fear, it was rage. They found us, she said, more to herself than to anyone else. Jordan nodded. We need to move now. But Valari didn't move. Her eyes scanned the small room. She could hear the soldiers approaching, their footsteps heavy and determined. Not yet, she said. The Mindwell core hummed softly. It was still active. The evidence they had, the proof of the Heartwave's existence, was inside the data files. They couldn't let the Empire destroy it. Not after everything they had seen. Jordan looked at her, understanding the gravity of the situation. We need to make sure the dream is safe, Velar. If we don't, they will erase it. They'll erase us. Valari turned to the control panel. We need to send the data to Rintal. The people there, at least they'll know the truth, and they'll help us fight. Thomas spoke, his voice calm and steady, despite the chaos. We should send it to everyone. To every dreamer. Valari looked at him, surprised. The child was wise beyond his years. How do you mean? Let everyone see it, Thomas said. Let them know they've been lied to. They can't erase the dream if it's everywhere. Valari took a deep breath. You're right. I'll send it to the outer colonies. She moved quickly, fingers flying over the control panel. She tapped in the coordinates for Rintel, then sent the files to every colony she could access. The heartwave connection, the truth, it was out now. The Empire wouldn't be able to stop it. The station shook as blasts from Empire ships slammed. Against the outer walls, the rumbling intensified. Valari, Jordan called out, his voice sharp. We have to go. They're breaking through. The door to the room exploded open. Empire soldiers poured inside, led by a tall officer with a glowing blue arm. His eyes locked on Valari. Valari Threx, the officer said coldly. You're coming with us now. The soldiers aimed their weapons. The officer stepped forward. You've broken the law. You're harboring a criminal and interfering with official Imperial business. Valari stood tall, unafraid. I'm not coming with you, and you can't stop the truth from spreading. The officer narrowed his eyes. We will stop you. Empress ordered your arrest. Surrender now. But Valari didn't move. Instead, she glanced at Jordan. The light of the heartwave still filled his eyes. He was ready. Valari raised her hand. We don't need to fight, if you're willing to listen. The officer scoffed. To you, it's nothing to listen to. You've gone too far. She stepped forward, her voice steady but firm. No, you've gone too far. You hunted me for years, made me believe in lies. I was trained to fight your wars, to chase ghosts and dreams. But now I see the truth. The officer's expression faltered for a brief moment. He looked around at the glowing Mindwell core, at the dreams and memories that filled the room, and then back at Valari. The truth, he repeated. Jordan took a step forward, his voice calm yet powerful. Yes, the truth. The dream demon was never a threat. It was us, the Empire, that caused the destruction. We used dreams to control, to erase hope. And now, you can't erase the people who've seen the truth. The officer's eyes shifted to Toma, then back to Valari. Hesitated. His weapon lowered slightly, but it was enough. Lair, I didn't wait. She rushed forward, knocking the officer's weapon aside and taking the lead. Jordan followed her, guiding Toma along. The station's alarms still blared, but now they were. Running against time, they needed to reach the escape pods. As they sprinted down the hallway, explosions rocked the walls. Valera's heart raced. Behind them, the Empire's soldiers regrouped. They were coming for them, and they weren't going to stop. We can't outrun them, Jordan said, his voice tight. They'll find us, you know that. Valera's eyes narrowed. Then we fight. The escape pod was just ahead. The final door loomed in front of them. The sound of approaching soldiers grew louder. Valari's hand was steady as she punched in the launch codes. Hurry. She shouted, Toma, reach the pod first. Valari followed closely, turning to see the soldiers' shadows moving in the hallway. The officer had regained his composure. His voice rang through the corridor. Stop them. They can't escape. They're a threat to the Empire. Valari slammed the door shut and punched in the controls. The pod's engines roared to life, and with a burst of speed, they shot away from the station. Flying into the dark void of space, the Empire's ships followed, but it was too late. The escape pod was already accelerating faster than the Imperial ships could chase. Valari looked out the small window. The station disappeared behind them, a speck in the vast emptiness. We're safe for now, she said, her voice strained but relieved. Jordan took a deep breath. But the fight isn't over. The truth is out. We need to keep going. We need to make sure the entire galaxy knows what the Empire has done. Valari turned to him. We will. We'll never stop fighting for the truth. The Empire may have controlled dreams for years, but now the dreams belong to everyone. The escape pod flew deeper into space. It made it out this time, but there was still more to do. The Empire would never stop hunting them. But Valari, Jordan, and Toma knew one thing now. The fight for the truth had just begun. The stars stretched out before them, cold and distant. Inside the small escape pod, the air was thick with silence. The only sound the soft hum of the engines as they cut through space. Valera sat by the window watching the endless black. Her heart still raced from their narrow escape. The Empire was relentless. They were out for all of them. She turned to look at Jordan Hale, sitting across from her, his hands clasped in his lap. His eyes were calm but filled with determination. Toma, the child, was quietly playing with a small toy, lost in his thoughts. He had seen more than any child should, yet he carried the weight of it all with a quiet strength that made Valari proud. "We can't hide forever," Valari said, her voice steady but weary. "The Empire will send more ships. They'll hunt us until the end." Jordan met her gaze. "The truth is already out, Valari. We can't silence it. Not now." Valari frowned, her fingers tracing the smooth surface of the pod's control panel. "You're right. But the Empire won't stop until they control everything again. They'll try to erase the truth. They'll target every colony, every dreamer. Then we fight back," Jordan said quietly. "We've already taken the first step. We showed them that they can't control everything. Now we need to spread that message."
Valerie.
Turned away, thinking.
Ow.
She knew what he said was true. The heartwave had connected so many people, so many minds across the galaxy. The truth was out there, in the dreams of the people who had seen the Dream Demon not as a monster, but as a protector, as a guide. But it was still fragile. The Empire was too powerful. What if they don't believe it? Valere whispered, more to herself than to anyone. "Out. What if they don't trust us?" "Then we make them," Jordan said firmly. "We'll give them no choice. We'll show them that dreams can't be controlled by fear." Valari turned back. To him, her eyes serious. "How?" Jordan smiled slightly. "By showing them the dream itself. By creating something no one can ignore." The next few days were filled with plans. They couldn't stay on the run forever. They needed a safe place to gather their allies, a place where the Empire wouldn't immediately find them. Valeri's mind raced with possibilities. The outer colonies were their best hope, but they needed more than just safety. They needed a message, a voice that would be heard. After a lot of searching, they found an old hidden communication network, a secret system used by rebels and survivors from forgotten wars. It was the perfect place to send their message. "It's time," Valari said one night, standing in front of the control panel. "The Empire will never expect this." Jordan stood beside her. "Let's show them who we really are." Together, they sent a signal out. It wasn't just a message. It was a dream, one that would reach every corner of the galaxy, every mind that had ever seen the Dream Demon. They weren't just sending words or pictures. They were sending the truth, a shared vision, a vision of peace, of rebellion. Hope. The signal spread like wildfire. Across the galaxy, people began to wake up in their dreams. They saw visions of Jordan Hale, not as a demon, but as a symbol of resistance. They saw Valar Threx standing tall, no longer the obedient warrior of the Empire, but the leader of something greater. Across countless star systems, people felt the change. Some awoke in cold sweat, others in wonder, but all felt it. The heart wave connected them. Dreams began to mix, merging into one massive, unstoppable current of truth. But the Empire wasn't blind. They saw the signals too. They couldn't stop them. "Not anymore, Valari," Jordan said, watching the screens as the dream networks hummed with activity. "It's happening. The rebellion is alive." Valari felt a weight lift from her shoulders. This is just the beginning. 2 days later, the first wave of resistance appeared. Valari and Jordan watched as transmissions came in from colonies. Far away, rebels, dreamers, and former soldiers now fighting against the Empire. They weren't alone. They had allies in every corner of the galaxy, people who had once been silenced, people who had once been afraid. Now, they were ready to rise up. "We need to act quickly," Valari said, the fire returning to her voice. "The Empire won't stand down. They'll send everything they have." "We're ready," Jordan replied. We'll fight for every dream. Together they made plans. They would begin with the outer colonies, the ones most likely to rebel. They would make their stand there. And when they did, the galaxy would see that the Dream Demon was not a thing to fear, it was a symbol of freedom. The first battle came. Faster than they expected, Imperial ships appeared in the skies of Rintel, trying to crush the rebellion before it could even begin. But the rebels were ready. They had the message. They had the dreams. They had each other. The people of Rintal fought back with everything they had. Old weapons, makeshift defenses, and above all, the truth in their hearts. The Imperial forces were strong, but the will of the people was stronger. Valari stood at the front, guiding the rebels with the power of the dream. We fight for everyone who's ever dreamed of a better world. We fight for the truth. Jordan was beside her, calm but unyielding. The Empire can't control our dreams anymore. We won't let them. As the battle raged, something amazing happened. The dreamers, the people who had once seen the Dream Demon as a threat, began to take action. They knew what to do. They knew how to fight. Their dreams gave them strength, and they used that strength to tear down the Empire's lies. The battle was won. For now, at least. The Empire retreated, but Valari knew they would return. But the galaxy had changed. The truth was out there, and it could never be erased. "We've done it," Valari said, watching the sunrise over Rintel. "The Empire can't stop us anymore." Jordan stood beside her. "No, they can't." And somewhere, deep in the dreams of millions, the voice of the Dream Demon whispered, "We will never stop fighting."